Thank you. Thank you, Business World, for inviting me and giving me opportunity to interact with the young minds here. Uh, I think everybody I see here, if we take an average age, then because of me, you will be going in a different direction. Otherwise, all of you will be under 30. Fantastic. Uh, Congratulations to all of you who is going to be winning the awards today. And I think Business World is doing a fantastic work by creating these awards, felicitating them, recognizing them, motivating them to do more. For us, being a government or a quasi-government organization, what we look into is, hey, how we can create more opportunities for our youngsters. How do we create more opportunities of growth of engine of the economy? And how do we create more GDP growth, so to say, and the number of employment opportunities created so far. What I will do is, I'll give you just a snapshot of what Karnataka is doing in the story of FinTech and why Business World has picked up Bangalore as the event place for the FinTech. And I think my statistics will talk about of those. Can I use this? Okay. Who we are, first of all, Karnataka Digital Economy Mission has been set up by the government. Everybody knows that, I believe so, but just a hint here that we are 51% equity of this organization lies with the industry and 49% of equity lies with the government. But the entire OPEX comes from the government. Why we needed this equity distribution in such a way? Because we want industry to be on the driving seat of this organization to make sure that we are doing the right things for the industry, by the industry, and for the industry. And our motive is to digital economic growth. If our Honorable Prime Minister is looking at $1 trillion digital economy, we are looking at contributing the highest share, $250 or $300 billion or so in that aspiration by one state, Karnataka. And I think we can do that. One is because of all of you, what you're going and proving yourself very differently. Our objectives, our focus areas, if you see the bottom, these are the 5 important areas where digital economy that we focus upon. Number 1 is the how do we grow IT, ITS, and GCCs. Second is electronic system, design, manufacturing. But most importantly is startup in tech field. And that's 3 is what this organization is focusing upon. And the 2 other elements that we focus is about talent, your requirement of the talent is going forward. Last but not the least is creating more Bangalore outside Bangalore. We call it beyond Bangalore. And that's where the entire journey comes into play. Thank you. Thank you, the startup ecosystem players. This is where our journey lies when we talk about of the Karnataka, that we are recognized as consecutively number 1 in innovation. Ladies and gentlemen, Bangalore has been recognized as a top 20 ecosystem in the world, right? It's because of you. It's because of you and because of the effort that we all work together to make it happen. In fact, I was having a discussion with the Thai and said, let's make a lounge in the Bangalore airport. We will call it a startup lounge. What I mean by that is anybody who is traveling to Bangalore and says, I'm a startup, I want to see the city, first welcome at the airport and say, let's have a chat, let's have a filter coffee of Bangalore first. Who you want to meet? What do you want to do? We will be with you. I hope you will find someday soon a startup launch in the Bangalore airport. We are working with them to find out a space for us. So this is the way that we are trying to position the startup ecosystem of Karnataka. Well, we have been inherited with a lot of public sector units for the last 70, 80 years. We have also been inherited with now the, out of Fortune 500 companies, 400 companies of R&D center, innovation center operates from in none other city than Bangalore. If I pick up a focus on FinTech, numbers is known to you, somebody must have told you, is about, let's say, you have 280 plus deals which has been picked up, somewhere around $8 billion and deal size is 33 million. Where is Karnataka stands here? Is Karnataka's leading? Yes, Mumbai is a financial capital. 101% sure, no doubt about it. But ladies and gentlemen, Karnataka is a finance capital of FinTech in India and in the world. Look at the data. Look at the data. What it says is you have 254 out of 280 deals of fundraising for startups in the FinTech is only from Karnataka, out of 280 in India. Out of $8 billion that we raised, $6.5 billion has been raised by Karnataka-based FinTech companies of India. We are a FinTech capital of India, for sure. Almost 80%. And if we look at what we want to do, achieve more, is not to settle down with saying, we are here for a fintech capital in India, but can we become a fintech hub for the world? And if that, then what we need to do differently? We have to design the strategy for us in a different manner. And that's the reason we picked up something very different exercise, is that, hey, can we create an aspiration for us? By 2030, can we create 50 unicorns and around 100 sonicorns out of fintech alone? Can we? Aspiration. And if that's aspiration, we need to design those strategies to execute them to ensure that we are able to provide that pathways. So the $1 trillion market service that the fintech looks at, we are saying if our fintech companies can at least address 50% of that market size that we serve from our side, from a Karnataka-based fintech companies, around $500 billion by 2030. And so the numbers of sonicorns, unicorns happen. This cannot be happened until we set up something like a fintech task group to look at what we need to design, how we to design and execute them with a mission and a vision of very clearly, let's make Karnataka as a fintech hub of the world. And in this journey of the fintech, ladies and gentlemen, these are the members who are contributing as a fintech task groups. All of those great guys from Zerodhas to Razorpays to everybody, Cred, Grow, are contributing to put together a strategy. And I'm very thankful for all those great leaders for paying the time, giving us those insights, valuable suggestions, and put together a fantastic report to us, which we are now taking it forward to execute them as well. These are the areas and approach that are picking it up. We want to create a fintech corpus. We want to create a center of excellence on fintech. We look forward to see if we can have a fintech policy dedicated for fintech as well. And can we create international bridges of sandbox based out of here? And we are already getting plenty of bridges coming up together from Abu Dhabi to Singapore to UK and etc., which are ready to build up. And more like a highway for the startups to use them. And that's where we are trying to see. The other element that you want to create is a market. How do we create a fintech literacy program in partnership with RBI to see if the consumers can understand how to use a fintech as a service for them? So another very solid strategy is to create a market for a fintech. So a demand, a technology, a corpus, a mentorship, and also a market for the fintech providers. And this is the way that we have designed our strategies of the pillars to look forward to do that. Some of the other initiatives that you're trying to put together, friends, is making Mangalore as a fintech hub. And I said this in my earlier talks when I used to normally come down here. Mangalore has created almost 8th largest bank of India. Only Mangalore. Genetically, this city is a banking city. That was talking about of, let's say, 3 decades, or 4 decades, or 5 decades back. Now it's the time to make it a tech on this. So we want to set up a fintech. Recently, we opened the Cyber Security Center of Excellence in BFSI in partnership with MAHE there, in partnership with ISEC there. We want to set up a center of excellence of fintech. Hopefully, it should come in next quarters or so. And we would be happy to serve all of you in terms of your requirements, incubations, mentorships, funds, and etc. coming in place. Infrastructure is also getting developed in the same city to leverage. 2 companies have signed up to put up their operations of fintech in Mangalore in the last 4 or 5 months. I was in the US for a roadshow from East Coast to West Coast, and we did approximately 15 events in 10 days, reaching out to a lot of people around. The one important talk of the town was fintech. And I think this is a punch card for us in Karnataka's crown as well, and would like to leverage as much as we can. We can say this has all been happening around, but it is only achieved because of none other than you all. And this is the roadmap that we have prepared ourselves to see if we can reach to this stage. With this stage and with this time limit that I have, I want to pass on my thank you to you for encouraging us, making this FinTech Hub. Thanks to Business World for hosting this event in Bangalore. Happy to support you in any ways that we can do in the entire ecosystem of FinTech. Thank you so much.